Hi, my name is Mallory Simons, and I would like to share with you how cleanliness truly is happiness. Can I paint a scenario with you? So, there's a deadline coming up on a really big project, but you've been procrastinating, so there's not a lot of time left, but there is a lot of work left to do. So, you finally stop procrastinating and you start to look for a space, but the only problem is you can't find one. So you shove a bunch of stuff to the side, creating a bigger pile, and just set your stuff in there and start working on it. As you begin your project, you see out of the corner of your eye that big pile of papers that have been piling up for months. You immediately think, oh man, there's a lot of papers in there with some important things in them that I really need to go through and organize. Then you rein yourself back in and say, no, I have this big project, I need to work on it. So you begin working on it again, get in the right mindset, and are doing really well. Then you shift your body a little bit, and your foot ends up hitting something. You think, oh yeah, there's that picture frame with that really nice picture that I like. It needs to be hung on the wall so it doesn't get all tattered and torn and broken. But then you remember, oh no, I've got this project. I need to start working on it again and keep going at it. That can wait. This keeps going on, and you keep fighting the battle. You end up making it through. Your project isn't that great, not as you'd like it anyways, or as good as you could have done, but you got it done. And you might still be tired, but at least you got it done. So, all of these things are happening, but why? Well, I'd like to share with you how a clean and tidy surrounding really is much more beneficial than having a messy and untidy space. So first, let's kind of look at the symptoms, just to make sure that this is really the issue. So the first thing could be that you can't focus, like we talked about. You just keep veering off onto other things, or your mind wanders onto other ideas that are just not the main project. You keep procrastinating. So you know that there's more than just the project to do, that you're also going to have a lot of prep work just to clean up an area so that you can have some space to begin your project. Your mental health might also be suffering. So you might be super stressed, have a lot of anxiety, or even be as bad as having depression. Your sleep also may be suffering. So you have a lot of thoughts at night, and maybe you're just not getting as restful as a sleep as you should be. So what could be maybe some causes of this? Well, there could be a lot, but maybe one of the number one reasons is because nothing you have is organized or clean. So all this clutter can lead to a lot of distractions, which makes you tired, which makes you not be able to focus very well. So according to an article titled "The Case for Finally Cleaning Your Desk" by Mr. Sander, an fMRI was done, plus other research tools that showed the brain really likes order and organization. So if things aren't organized, then your brain is using a lot of energy to make decisions whether or not you should work on this new project that you're thinking about, or you should keep working on your project that you really need to be working on. Without all these distractions around you, you wouldn't even really think about it likely, and you'd keep going on your main project. So a clean and a cleared space also leads to increased productivity and increased focus in the same study also done by this group. So another main point is that the increased amount of stuff that's around you causes overwhelm, which also causes you to procrastinate. So when you procrastinate, a lot of these avoidance strategies begin to kick in when you're overwhelmed, and these could be things such as eating, watching TV, anything but the main project that you're really trying to do. Your health might also be suffering. So you might be really stressed, and in a study done from the same article that I mentioned earlier, increased stress is correlated with the increased amount of clutter that's around you. So if this keeps building up too, it can lead to you being more anxious and even as far as depressed, like we talked about. So how are we going to fix this? Well, if we make time in the week, just maybe one day out of the week, to clean up and organize our space, then we don't have to worry about it later on when we don't really have time to focus on those things. All we have time to do is focus on our project at hand, and that's what we can do. So, by setting aside this time, then we'll build up a routine of it, and it won't be as hard later, and eventually leads to less distractions, which makes everything overall go a lot smoother. So sometimes this doesn't always work. You don't have enough time to clean the entire space that you're wanting to work in. So then you can just work on one main space that you're wanting to get your work done in and make that clean and organized for you. So for example, it might be your house and you're doing a lot of work at home. So you might start with your office because that's where you do most of your homework. Then you can move to the kitchen so that you can make some healthy meals. And then your next most important thing might be your bedroom so that you can sleep well and know that when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be able to find everything just fine. Then you can move to laundry, bathrooms, living room, etc. until everything's either done or you run out of time. And that's okay too. And then there are other times when we don't have time for any of that. That's okay. There's another solution. A lot of businesses have people that come and clean their place. So if you have one that's nearby you, you can go there and that can be your space. So this could include coffee shops, the local library, community center, or a computer lab. So a lot of times we struggle to concentrate, especially as college students. So there can be many causes of this, but the main one could be that we have so much around us, so much stuff that's causing us to have anxiety about what we're trying to do, procrastinate, and just have a really poor project at the end. It's really good that we can manage this by setting aside time to clean up that area, maybe not the whole thing, but at least just that one space. And if that doesn't work, we can also go to another business where we have somebody else to be able to make that space clean for us. Both of these limit the distractions from your surroundings, which overall helps you out a lot. I hope this helps you see just how much your surroundings really affect you and can improve the quality and production in your project. Thanks so much.